So my career has been a little bit odd, right? I've been a writer. I've written a number of books, and they've developed kind of an audience, pretty well read, reasonably reviewed. I'm a physicist. I have a doctoral degree in experimental physics, and one of the favorite things that happens to me every once in a while, and happened not that long ago, was people will come up to me and they'll read a book or something, and it's usually this one. And people will get to the end and be like, "Well, that's not what I expected," and wow, it really took a twist. And I'm like, "That's really nice. I kind of like that." And there's other times people will come up to you and be like, "Why'd you make the bad guys this, or why'd you make the bad guys that? You should have not, picked on that group or this group." And I'm like, "Okay, fine, but somebody's got to be the bad guy." And I picked that one. You write a book your own, you pick yours, I picked mine, right? So, but my favorite of all time, there's two. They're kind of dead heat tied. Number one is, as a scientist professionally who's had an interesting career, and as somebody who now writes fiction book, I have people come up to me like, "Oh, well, you don't act like a scientist, or you don't act like an author." I'm like, "The fuck's that supposed to mean, right?" And the fun one about it, especially as a scientist, is people are like, "Well, you don't act like a physicist." And okay, how many of them have you met? And the answer is always zero. Or they met one, and it was at some conference someplace. I'm like, well, shit, when I'm at a conference, you get a whole different version of me than when I'm at home, right? Certainly when I'm out at a bar or at a football game or something, they're just people, right? And the other one is, well, you don't act like an author. I'm like, why? It's like, because, well, I've seen authors on Masterclass, or I've seen them doing speaking events. Well, shit, when I'm out doing a speaking event or something, I'm a different guy than I am on YouTube, or I'm at home, or I'm out with my kids. It's just different. So you got to remember, whoever does these things for a living, they're just people. They're just people like you. I had a book idea. It turned into that. It turned into that. It's been read pretty well. 500 plus Amazon reviews, 4.1 stars. It's reasonably well received. Um, Another book over 1,000 Amazon reviews. I think it's 4.3 stars. But so it's humorous to me when people come up to you and have that reaction. And my favorite reaction was this guy on Amazon who left a 1 star review, best review I think I've ever received in my life. And it was 1 freaking star, right? It was about this book. He's like, "Well, I read the book and I loved it. And then I got to the last chapter and that wasn't the ending I expected. God damn it. And I wanted a different ending. Why couldn't you just end it the way I wanted?" Well, okay. You didn't see the ending coming. You're welcome. I kind of think that's a good thing, right? It's a plausible ending. Nobody complained about that. However, it wasn't the one this guy wanted, so he left a 1 star review because I surprised him at the very end. I thought it was cute. Probably one of my favorite reviews of all time, and it was 1 star. So, hope everybody has a great week. Remember, these are the things nobody else will tell you. Subscribe if you want to keep following along. I do these videos from time to time about what to expect, or when you're a writer, what not to, what you didn't expect. I talk about books and other things, and just subscribe below.